since the last time we've talked, since the last time we were doing the TLDR, y'all sent us some emails that really made my heart drop. I think I speak for everybody on campus when I say, like, whenever we lose students, like, I feel it in my heart, I feel it in my gut, and it's a source of stress as well as like sadness for me for days after. And so, like, and I didn't know either of the students that died, and so for those students who did, what do we do? Like, what do we do with this information? How do we stay on top of it? Like, how do we continue? You know?
Yeah. I want to name that it's actually the students who are close to the students who lost their lives. You know, it's a real sort of major thing to sort of for them to connect and seek support, talk to one another, connect to to the extent they can to those students' families, to resources for grieving. I also want to name that one of the things we know in the work that I do is that you don't have to know those two people to be very directly impacted by the loss, right? And that could be because you're connected to a different loss from high school or high school friends or family members, and it can also just be because you know that it's a real challenge. And so I want to sort of blanket say that anybody who's seeking support, seek it out, seek the connection, and reflect with us. I mean, we've been trying to send all the sort of energy and positivity. I would typically be very much in touch directly with these students' families and their closest circles of friends, and we're trying to sort of send the energy that we can. I know it sounds it's just unusual to not be able to do the outreach we would normally do because of COVID. There's a million different ways that people respond, and some friends will be high outreach to one another in close circles of friends. Other friends will be, sort of more sort of personal or introverted in how they process here, and so giving each other room to be where you need to be right now is also really important. Gary?
Yeah, and I would encourage you to share your feelings with your friends.
Yeah.
And not to be shy about that, because I suspect in many cases you'll find that others are struggling too, or at least start thinking about it, or the weight of this whole experience, is borne by many people in the community. And so I think sharing your feelings can be really very helpful in moments like these. This is just the whole experience has just been horribly tragic and traumatic, certainly to these families more than to anyone, and to the students who knew them. But these kinds of things are traumatic for the entire community, and I would encourage us to talk about it.
And maybe one last comment on that, which is, ways that we can show thoughtfulness and care to each other. It's not just immediate. It's going to be a continuous thing. And the ways that we can continue to support those who feel these losses really immediately. We're going to want to be there for them for a while.